Breaking news. Welcome to today's headlines. Stop Uzodinma's move to borrow additional 118 billion naira. Imo PDP tells federal government. Stop Uzodinma's move to borrow additional 118 billion naira. Imo PDP tells federal government. To my dear listeners, this is today's news. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Imo State has called on the federal government to invoke its powers in line with the provisions of Section 47, 3 of the Fiscal Responsibility Act to stop Senator Uzodinma from destroying Imo State with an unsustainable debt portfolio. The opposition party said it feels greatly pained by the spike in Imo's debt profile and state in clear terms that the administration of Senator Hope Uzodinma has mortgaged the future of unborn generations with unpayable debt stock while also elevating treasury looting to the status of state policy. PDP in a statement signed by State Publicity Secretary Collins Okpuruzo and made available to Daily Post on Monday, said with a debt profile of 220 billion naira, Imo State has the highest debt to GDP ratio in Nigeria. The opposition party further said it therefore alert Indimo and indeed Nigerians to a grand plot by Senator Hope Uzodinma to borrow as much as possible and plunge Imo into debt slavery, so as to flee Nigeria with enough loot upon his imminent defeat at the governorship polls in November this year. The statement read, "It is on record that the widely rejected administration of Senator Uzodinma has already gotten the malleable House of Assembly to pass a bogus budget which contains nothing but a very sinister plan to borrow, just in 2023, the sum of 354 billion naira. For the avoidance of doubt, the entire receipt from FARC to Imo State for the year 2023 would be in the region of 70 billion naira. The 13% derivation fund would total about 9.6 billion naira. The state's IGR would be 13 billion naira. And other interventions and grants, including UBERG, would be 28 billion naira. Yet, Senator Uzodinma has planned to fritter away the sum of 475 billion naira within the year. The deficit, which is 354 billion naira, would be raised through borrowings. Still unsatisfied with that amount, Senator Uzodinma has again sent a supplementary budget of 118 billion to the parliament. This will also be financed through loans and squandered as usual. This shows Senator Uzodinma has already perfected plans to leave behind a cumulative debt burden of over 700 billion naira. It will take more than 10 generations to clear this mess which the unelected regime has created in just 3 years. It is curious that in all of the landmark borrowings by Senator Uzodinma, no effort has been made to redraw the industrial landscape of the state by rejigging investment in the hugely vital agro-industrial sector where Imo has major comparative advantage. Other farmers remained moribund. Imo Rubber Estate and Avutu Poultry Farm have remained comatose. Equally, Unsu Tiles Company, Umuna Bricks Factory, Ibema Power Plant and Inyishi Aluminium Extrusion Plant are some key investments with the capacity to rev up the local economy and employ a vast majority of the teeming unemployed Imo youth. Yet, they have been left to rot away, even when Imo under this anti-people regime of Senator Uzodinma has been officially designated by the MBS as the unemployment capital of Nigeria. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) in Imo State has called on the federal government to invoke its powers in line with the provisions of Section 47(3) of the Fiscal Responsibility Act to stop Senator Uzodinma from destroying Imo State with an unsustainable debt portfolio. The opposition party said it feels greatly pained by the spike in Imo's debt profile and states in clear terms that the administration of Senator Hope Uzodinma has mortgaged the future of unborn generations with unpayable debt stock, while also elevating treasury looting to the status of state policy. Now I've come to the end of our today's news. Please do drop out the comment section and let's know what your